Hello, this is my Sporting Arms snake charmer. I'm going to give a review about it and then the very long story of the history I've had with the firearm since I've had it for 6 or 7 years, but I've interacted with it or been around it since I was like 13 maybe, and I'm 25. We'll get to that later. Alright, well, this is a Sporting Arms. There we go. Snake charmer. The company went out of business in the 80s, and actually, Snake Charmer 2. I don't know the differences. This gun is barely legal as far as like the overall dimensions and the barrel length, but the good news is it isn't a gun that your Uncle Bubba hacked off. It actually has a full choke, so it's not a cylinder bore. It's an excellent firearm. I have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of rounds through it. One thing is it does come with a plastic trigger guard, and it needs a little paint there. This one is actually metal. I actually had this one made for the firearm. I received it in the condition with a broken trigger guard, but I had one made for like $30, I think, from a gunsmith, and did a pretty good job. I just need to paint a few spots that it got dinged up. The safety is a little interesting. So like that's fire, and that'd be safe. I never use it. Keep around in the chamber, and as soon as you need to, you're about to. It's easier to, okay, there's your squirrel, your rabbit, or whatever, or your snake. Pull that back, hit the trigger, than it is to turn this, in my opinion. So that's just me. This is an afterthought. This isn't factory, but it does store 4 rounds into the butt of the gun. I just have a little bit of tape to kind of help keep it closed. So you can hold 6 on the side and then 4 in the back. So a total of 10 rounds. But like I said, this is not factory at all. It can hold the full 3-inch rounds, which is nice. That's good, especially since it's a 410. So it's excellent to have that. I love that it's stainless steel. I've had this in my truck for God knows how long, and everything else. One thing to note about the firearm, it doesn't actually extract the round. It just kind of pulls it up for you. Just some, so after you shoot it, it just kind of lifts it up so you can grab it and pull it out and throw it. It doesn't just eject the round after it opens. So just something to be mindful of. Not a big deal. I have shot buckshot through it. I just opened one of the shells and make sure that the buckshot it rolled out of the barrel without any issues, and it did. And it was very powerful. I shot several layers of plywood with it, and with the buckshot, and it went through very easily. In his comparison, I had my 9mm with a 3-inch barrel, 3.1-inch barrel, and it did the same thing. So kind of giving you an idea of how powerful it can be. Of course, it is a 18-inch barrel. So, and then I guess this will be the part about how I got it. It was my grandpa's. He let me keep it even in my room at a young age. Not 12, but young. Of course, well, maybe maybe actually like 13 or so. I started hunting birds at 12, so. And never got it out, never played with it, nothing like that. Always been very responsible with firearms. But anyway, does have that neat diamond there. Kind of reminds me of a Nylon 66 by Remington. They have a diamond in the stock as well. And it also makes me think of pool tables. They usually have diamonds engraved. There's a lot of other firearms that are kind of similar to this. Rossi makes one. is the Tamer, I believe. It has a different stock. There's a few others, but they're not this gun. These are actually kind of rare. You don't see them for sale very often. Anyway, my grandpa had it for a long time, and of course it was his, so, whenever we... Oh, I didn't mention that we lived with him for a few years, but we did, and we moved out, and eventually sold it to my dad for $80, which is incredible, but a family deal. And I bought it from my dad for $80, which, again, incredible deal, and but family deal, and I've had it for 6 or 7 years now. This screw comes out. It's threaded, and you just take that one screw out and hit that, and the whole barrel comes off. It's only a 3-pound rifle, by the way. And it's really great. Just a good gun. I mean, I wouldn't have any issues going and shooting rabbits or what have you with it. It does have a scabbard, or a sheath if you prefer. There's a leather one too. I didn't get that one. I just got it with this, but I know the other one. I know where it is even, but didn't come with it, and haven't bothered to ask for it. So, but I mean, it's kind of neat that it, your belt goes through there, and just kind of neat that it has that. It's not too bad really, but it is a 3-pound rifle, or shotgun, rather. But I've even shot clay pigeons with it once. It wasn't the only gun there, obviously, but for that activity. But I did bring it along and hit a few of them with it. It's kind of fun. Again, does have a full choke, so pretty good little gun. Great. And my grandpa, whenever he owned it for a long time, he had it. He had it in his bass boat in the rod box, and he would get it out for snakes and shoot them. Of course, back in the day when people weren't so anti-gun. Yeah. Alright, well, that's been my review of the snake charmer.